Hello everybody, my name is Dimon360 and welcome back to the channel. Now, as a big Star Wars fan, I am a huge fan of the Jedi and the Sith. And today, I would like to stop and take a look at 10 of the most powerful Jedi that have ever lived. I'm going to do a top 10 Sith video, but today we're going to look at the top 10 most powerful Jedi. This list is being ranked off power in the Force, knowledge of the Force, lightsaber skills, battlefield tactics, and level of experience. So, these 10 Jedi are the most powerful of all the Jedi. They're the best of the best, and today we're going to rank the top 10 most powerful Jedi. Number 10, Plo Koon. Plo Koon was a Keldor Jedi Master during the Clone Wars. He defeated Asajj Ventress and also found Ahsoka Tano, bringing her to the Jedi Temple. Plo Koon's lightsaber skills were incredible. He was a master of both forms of Form 5 lightsaber combat, as well as being capable in Form 4. He was able to defeat Asajj Ventress in single combat, which not a lot of Jedi were able to do, so very impressive on his part. Plo Koon's Force powers were also very capable. He was a master of telekinesis and telepathy. However, his most unique and unorthodox ability was Electric Judgment, a power which was basically the Jedi equivalent of Sith lightning. Overall, Plo Koon is a very powerful Jedi. I mean, he was literally one of 4 Jedi to have a lifetime seat on the Jedi Council, so that's all you need to know when putting him on this list. Number 9 is Jedi Master Shaak Ti. She was a Togrutan Jedi Master during the Clone Wars who also served on the Jedi High Council alongside Plo Koon. Shaak Ti was very gifted in the Force. She was capable of many different forms of telekinesis, telepathy, and she also held many obscure abilities. Her light side presence was that when she died, the planet of Felucia actually died and went into a dark side nexus. So that really talks about how potent she was on the light side. Shaak Ti's lightsaber skills were also incredible. She mastered both Form 2 and Form 4 lightsaber combat, the forms used by both Yoda and Count Dooku separately, which, again, really speaks to how capable she was. Shaak Ti was even put in charge of Kamino during the Clone Wars, which is a massive target for the Separatists. So putting her solely in charge really shows you how much trust the Jedi had in her. Ultimately, Shaak Ti, the master of lightsaber combat, the Force, has plenty of experience through the Clone Wars, and ultimately is the 9th most powerful Jedi on this list, or at least in my opinion. Number 8, Jedi Grand Master Satel Shan. She was a descendant of Revan and Bastila Shan, which, I mean, that's pretty impressive. That makes a powerful Jedi. During the era of the Great Galactic War, she was Padawan to Jedi Master Kowsin Durach, and by the end of the war, became the Jedi Grand Master. Satel Shan was incredibly gifted with the lightsaber. She was trained in the use of the double-bladed lightsaber by Durach, and became an incredibly gifted user, defeating Darth Malgus in single combat. She was also very experienced, as she survived multiple wars with the Sith. However, as gifted as Satel Shan was with the lightsaber, and as tactically gifted as she was, her true power came with her Force abilities. Being a descendant of Revan and Bastila Shan, Satel Shan was capable in many powerful abilities. Her telekinesis was so potent that the energy of her power was visible to the human eye as she shattered an entire mountain. Her Tutaminis was capable of blocking and catching a lightsaber blade. She was capable of battle meditation, farsight, advanced Tutaminis, and precog. Damn. Number 7, Obi Wan Kenobi. Now, I know what you're all going to say. What? How is Obi Wan only number 7? Well, that just shows you how powerful some of these Jedi are. I think there's no real introduction to Obi Wan Kenobi. Padawan to Qui-Gon Jinn, mentor to Anakin Skywalker, and Luke Skywalker died on board the Death Star. Obi Wan Kenobi was the reigning Form 3 Surisu Master, and so far goes undefeated, only cracking at 12 strikes per second against General Grievous, meaning 4 lightsabers, each striking 12 strikes per second. Damn. Obi-Wan is very experienced, being the second most battle-hardened Jedi of the Clone Wars era, and taking on Asajj Ventress, General Grievous, Count Dooku, and Anakin Skywalker, which gives him a lot of experience. The only thing that keeps Obi-Wan just a little bit behind is that his Force abilities aren't really as advanced as his dueling skills. He's very capable, don't get me wrong. It's just that his Force abilities are a little more standard than most. Number 6, Jania Solo Fel. Now, for all you Disney canon fans, you probably have no idea who Jania Solo Fel is. Jania Solo Fel was the original daughter of Han and Leia, because Kylo Ren had a sister in the old books. Jania was incredibly gifted in lightsaber combat. She was titled the Sword of the Jedi, a title created by Luke Skywalker, who despised combat. That's very impressive. She also fought in 2 galactic wars, the Yuuzhan Vong and the Second Civil War, separately, and defeated Darth Kyp in single combat. She had training from Luke Skywalker, Kyp Durron, Katarn, and even Boba Fett. Yeah, that's right. Ultimately, again, Jania is basically Obi-Wan Kenobi extreme. Outclasses him completely in combat and in tactical experience, but in terms of force powers, she and Kenobi are both very standard. Number 5, Katarn. Katarn was son to Morgan Katarn. After his father's death, he joined the Imperial Army and became an admiral until he found out that it was Inquisitor Jarek of the Empire who murdered his father. Katarn was trained by the Force Ghost of Jedi Master Kyp Durron, who trained him in the ways of the Force. Katarn defeated Jarek and then aided Luke Skywalker in defeating another Dark Jedi named Shan. Katarn was so gifted in lightsaber combat that he was titled the Jedi Battle Master, meaning he was not only the head lightsaber instructor, but claimed as one of the best, being one of the only Jedi to even compete with Grandmaster Luke Skywalker in lightsaber combat. That's not something I can say for many Jedi of that era. Certainly there are a few, but they're very few. However, what puts Kyle before Jania is his use of the Force and his experience. Katarn has a slight bit more experience from his time in the Empire, dealing with Shan and Jarek, but he also fought in the Yuuzhan Vong War and the Second Galactic Civil War, and his Force abilities. Katarn, primarily a lightsaber duelist, he was still very capable when it came to the Force. Not only capable of light side powers, but dark side powers too. He's one of the few Jedi who can use Force lightning. What does that say? Number 4, Mace Windu. Again, you're probably going to be shocked that Mace is only 4 on this list, but that just shows you how powerful the top 3 Jedi are. Mace Windu was the Master of the Order, meaning he was second only to Yoda during the Clone Wars. Mace was so skilled in lightsaber combat that he developed his own lightsaber form called Form 7 Vapad, which was a variant of Form 7 Juya. Mace basically mastered this style and defeated Darth Sidious with it. He was also capable in very rare Force powers, including Shatterpoint and Force Crush, which he used against General Grievous to crush his chest and make him have lung cancer and bronchitis throughout Revenge of the Sith. Mace was undefeated in lightsaber combat, defeating the most powerful Dark Lord of the Sith in galactic history. That's no joke. Number 3, Kyp Durron. Kyp Durron was one of the first Jedi apprentices to Grandmaster Luke Skywalker. He was a very capable Jedi until Exar Kun turned him to the dark side and made him use the Sun Crusher. Kyp ultimately turned back to the light and became a Jedi, becoming one of the most powerful Jedi Council members of the new Jedi Order. Kyp was a capable lightsaber duelist, very exceptional. However, his Force powers were what drove him through. He was so powerful in the Force that he was able to accomplish feats such as manipulating a small black hole. Yeah, only one other Jedi on this list was able to do that. Kyp was also capable in abilities such as Force Lightning, Mind Probe, which is basically Kylo Ren's mind-reading power, among many others. Ultimately, Kyp Durron was basically the future of the new Jedi Order. Number 2, Grandmaster Yoda. It's no surprise to any that Yoda is on this list, but it might be a surprise that he's number 2. Yoda was the Jedi Grandmaster during the Clone Wars. He was 900 years old, so don't tell me he's not experienced. He was the absolute master of Form 4 lightsaber combat, defeating Count Dooku and Darth Sidious. But his true power was in the Force. He was able to land telekinetic blows on Darth Sidious, and was even able to absorb and redirect Force Lightning, which was a feat that has never been replicated other than Satel Shan. He was also able to literally crash starfighters into each other and lift an entire army of battle droids into the flight path of Separatist dreadnoughts, crashing them. He was also capable of battle meditation, which was an incredibly advanced ability that, again, only Satel Shan had so far. Honestly, we could go on and on about all the different powers Yoda had, but for the sake of keeping this list short, we're going to end him here and say Yoda is very powerful, but he's just not number 1. And at number 1, we have Grandmaster Luke Skywalker. No, not the pitiful representation in The Last Jedi Luke Skywalker. I mean Luke Skywalker from the books. The George Lucas Grandmaster Luke. In terms of lightsaber skills, Luke Skywalker is a master of all 7 lightsaber forms and is basically undefeated. Only Kyle Katarn and Kyp Durron even stood a chance of matching him, and maybe give Jania Solo 10 years, and she would have been able to just contend with him. Luke is by far the most experienced on this list. He survived the First and Second Galactic Civil Wars, and the Yuuzhan Vong War, and the Swarm War. That's 4 galaxy-wide wars. Dang. Luke Skywalker's Force powers alone would defeat everybody else on this list. Not only is he capable of ramping up his speed to the point where it looked like he was carrying 30 lightsabers, but he was capable of Tutaminis to the levels of Yoda and Satel Shan, capable of electric judgment, battle meditation, many other crazy abilities, which honestly I just can't get into. But he was able to use Force strength to buckle a Force demigod's knee. He's the other guy who manipulated a black hole, so that's what he and Kyp Durron did together. And he was able to defeat Darth Kyp, which is incredible. You'll see him on the top 10 Dark Lords list. And he also defeated the resurrected Emperor Palpatine, again, Darth Kyp, defeated Yuuzhan Vong, which are Force resistant, and Darth Kyp. But honestly, there's no denying that Grandmaster Luke is number 1 on this list. Now, before I end this video, I would like to give some honorable mentions. These guys were so close to making the top 10 most powerful Jedi list, but they just didn't make it. First off, we have Corran Horn. This guy would have probably made number 11 on this list. The only thing keeping him back was his lack of telekinesis. But other than that, this dude would have probably made number 11, based on his Tutaminis and illusion abilities. Number 12 would be Adi Mundi. He was the 4th guy who had a lifetime seat on the Jedi Council next to Mace, Yoda, and Plo Koon, so clearly this guy ain't messing around. And finally, Anakin Skywalker. He's the chosen one. Come on, there's no denying he was powerful. However, he's just nowhere near as powerful as his dark side counterpart. And that's going to wrap the video up, guys. So I'll have the top 10 most powerful Sith Lords video coming up pretty soon. And Hope you stay tuned. Bye.